Hello everyone, welcome to another Random Flow demo video. So before we start, I'm going to start using referral links from Blender Market or Superhive for extra cash. Once you purchase through that referral link, I will have a small portion of the purchase amount with no additional price or no additional cost for you. Okay, so Sci-Fi Canister. Just something simple. To avoid going through that hassle, I always forget to just add it here. So 64, starting with 64 vertices. So just something simple. And auto mirror right here on the XYZ axis. Insert here and press B. Give it some additional topology, but not too much. Go to the front view, draw faces in Creative Flow, and press C on the empty space of the viewport to basically reposition the 3D cursor on the center of the mesh. So when we draw from this angle, look angle, the draw object will be drawn from that distance. So uh, from before, this is our view angle, this is the screen, and we are looking towards here. So the 3D cursor is here, so the draw object is created there. Oh, I probably accidentally increased the bevel. So just use something like this and oops. C, and then symmetrize on the Z axis by pressing Z and increase the press T to reset the settings, solidify settings, and then press probably disable the X axis and press confirm. Then reshape this and the do the inset. No, let's just inset after we apply it or apply the mesh. Inset and then Control E, bridge edge loop. And since this is real topology now, we could also just go to knife mode by pressing K, press A to snap the angle, or to snap the points to angle, 45-degree angles in this case, or 30-degree angle constraint. And then press C to cut through the mesh, and right here as well, press right click to create a new cut, and then left click to, of course, create the cuts. So we're going to remove these faces because it's not going to be seen anyway, just to save up on resolution. And yeah, let's just leave it there. Shade out is mid. I'm saving this as cylinder. Now we're ready to just detail this. Random panels. This one. Oh no. That one. This one. And just increase the subdivision to create more details. In this case, there's really no danger of creating those geometric spiking. So even depth is set to on. And to generate larger face areas, we're going to increase the panel sizes. Let's try maze. So this is maze, by the way, and that is mainly for the random symbols operator. You know what? Let's try and do this part first. So you can see the subdivision banding already. Well, so we're going to fix this later on with mesh mode. Okay, and taking the result of the randomization, go to mesh smooth sharp, and just smooth till we kind of get rid of the most of the subdivision banding. There we go. Smoothing this as well. And selecting the source mesh again. We'll try and detail this part here. So we're going to need more detail here. So let's try and use less or a lower panel size amount. And then play around with the depth value. And let's try and fix this geometry here. So that will be the thickness. And then set the even depth to on. Let's play around with the other. So this is the maze. Pretty sure it will have some use, or there are some use case scenario for that. Other than random symbols. So a great way to practice on random flow is to use just basic geometry like the cylinder or a cube. So you can familiarize with the add-on. So there's not really too much subdivision banding, so we can try and move on. But this one, let's get this back to 0.005. Base square. And let's find something that works. So if nothing works, we could just create our own pattern by marking them as sharp, and we're going to use spinal cutter for this. Mark sharp. You can just do this manually. If the part of the area of the model is not giving you really good randomization results, then you can just do this. Manually create the cuts. Clear sharp and mark sharp. So this mark sharp edges will be um, used to create the panel details. Okay, so this one here probably, then mark sharp and select the surface and panel cut. We're just going to use the floater bevel, and oh, it didn't float. Ah, okay, floater. Since we selected everything, panel cut and then not select but sharp. There we go. And it looks like it's a part of the mesh underneath, but it's actually separate geometry. So let's just fix the width, and you can also fix the thickness. Then we have the offset. Okay, there we go. So this is separate geometry. Okay, let's do the same thing on this large areas here, but using randomization, and that will be random flow. Okay. It's using the same technique as the panel cutter. So you can do it using the floater mesh inner preset. You can see that. Okay, let's just change the HDRI. You can see that it's a part of the mesh. It looks like a part of the mesh underneath. Same trick. But in this case, we're just going to balance the detail that's being produced. So something not uh, not too much detail, and then edit the thickness as well, and the depth. Thickness first. Okay. So not too much, and going to also go to the settings of random flow and click on this clear selection. So every time we use randomization, the selection is automatically cleared out. So we can then use pre-select to select new areas again without having to use the deselect all feature or manually deselecting all the faces that you have selected after. Okay, why am I still on the same? Okay, there we go. And let's pick the source mesh, which in this case is the cylinder. To pick everything, to select an object that is being overlapped by multiple objects, you can just use Alt right click. This is Blender default hotkey. Alt right click, and it will show you the objects underneath the mouse cursor. So in this case, I want the cylinder that is underneath all this, and then Control Shift A just to make sure that everything is deselected, and then Shift F on this part here. There we go. And let's try random tubes and start off with this preset here, and then just fix the result after. Level. set the um, bevel angle, bevel segment to 3, and then reduce the offset. Probably reduce the, not the offset, the extrude offset, and we have the bevel offset. So those two are different. Okay, just to generate, in this case, we're going to make it seem like it's a bunch of tubes or cables. Yes, tubes. But it may be presented as also cables. If you want to get rid of the symmetry, just press or toggle off the use mirror toggle in the auxiliary, and you have no symmetry in the result. Uh, since that is using the actual applied mesh, which will generate or treat the symmetrized faces using the mirror modifier as real faces, then of course you will have much lower operation using the randomization, and that is based on the topology that you're working with. The advantage of this is you don't have to actually go to the source mesh and apply the mirror just to get the asymmetry. You can do it in the operator using this toggle here. Okay, just to add some extra detail there, let's try 80. Okay, and let's go back to our object right here. So this is, like a supporting pillar or supporting bar in the side of the cylinder. So auto mirror, but in this case, in the y-axis, just the y-axis, and just the z-axis as well. Okay, and randomize. Let's try and add in some topology, generate more faces for the randomization. Not topology, edge loop. There we go. I think that's good. And then select this two right here and apply the mesh. And let's just actually, since let's just join them together. I was thinking of getting rid of the source mesh, but since probably I can reuse that again later on, I'll just keep it and just join them together. And let's just join them together using Control J and select everything in edit mode, and then go to extras and fast circle array in the z-axis, and just increase the number of. So what do we have? We have 6. There we go. So let's just do 6. Okay, now let's go to shading. And we'll add the symbols later on after the shading is gone, or random symbols, just some basic writings, random writing. So go to extras, shading, and append materials, select everything or every mesh by pressing Shift G and then pressing T. But first, random vertex color, no saturation value 3, and island. In this case, the object points 8, and then object, there we go, objects, wait, islands, and then in front view, select this uh, sidebars or support, and then we're going to incorporate use this the vertex color of this for the rest of the array, and we're going to use the fast array again for that. So let's just create another variation here. Okay, that's good. And then fast circle array. So the faces that you have selected will be arrayed, and the faces that you have not selected will be removed. Okay, I think I may have, wait, yeah, they're the same. There's a bit of a slowdown, probably because of the extra topology. Fast circle array, origin. Okay, here we go. And then select everything again, and creative flow, materials, assign material, just the airflow metal. And we're going to apply material to the curve, apply it. Now it becomes mesh, and then apply the same material, airflow metal. And we're going to generate a vertex color for this as well, and island, using the limit island. There we go. We're going to fix the shader. So we're going to add the vertex color that we added using the random vertex color operator. Add it here. And control its intensity using the overlay color mix factor. Overlay. Set the factor to 1, and you can control the intensity using the color B. Input. And edge mask. Something like 0.005 or 0.008. And then let's just break apart the lines. There you go. And set this to 1. Cavity mask. Peaks. Set this to 0.4 in the saturation. Then Control C on the color bar and Control V here on the color bar of the quick dirt in the color 2 input. Okay. Go back here and probably increase the outer scale. Inner scale is 140. Inner roughness. Okay, and you can control the distribution of the dirt using the threshold parameter here. Okay, so it looks much better. Then you can play around with the metallicity. Okay, this one is too much. That's not too much. The AO is too much. There we go. And there you go. So there's our vertex color is truly showing up much better. Okay, now let's try and add some. So this is basically what you will get with the tools. You have the option to basically draw your concept using geometry, mostly geometry, and I kind of let you avoid using textures or other stuff, and manually set the vertex color, set it using creative flow. Set vertex color to red. Go. And let's just drew some more random stuff. Pick that. So this is already set on that color to be used from before. So treat in the operators in the panel, since there's no OK button, if unless you choose, of course, the confirm menu type, you can treat this kind of options here as an OK button. So right now it's on replace. You can just click that as an OK button to initiate the script. Okay. And we can collectively select this color inside mesh. Select them all by using select. And then with them selected, you can then change the color right here. Okay. Let's add another one right here. Set. And right in the middle, just a basic line. And let's do some erasure. Pick. Oh, okay. You need to make this as an active object. So click on it. Pick. Oops. Just this faces here. So if you're wondering if somehow it doesn't work, and that's because you need to set the object as the active object. Oh, yeah. We need to click it again. There you go. Just to add some basic color to your model using the vertex color technique. So selecting this and then pressing Shift 7 to make it face the camera. And set. Oh, it's the active object, but it's not setting. Oh, that's because we pick and set. Now we need to uh, use this again in an array. There's one. Oh, okay. Not this one. Or maybe this one. Okay, just select this one. Select every face in this corner here. And then extras plus circle array. and then yeah, you have the vertex color set on all the array objects. And we need to, there's no vertex color on the bottom side, so we just need to mirror that this part, top part here to the z-axis. Oops. Oh yeah. Wait. Didn't do the thing. There we go. Okay, now we can add the strange symbols. Okay, we're going to try with just a single face and create just kind of a logo. Pressing 1, and then right here, duplicate this, and then P to separate and in selection, and then limit dissolve to treat it as a single face. And we're going to fix the resulting quality into something more squarish. So if you select all these faces, the way random symbols work is in the script, it does this and will be generating random symbols on all these faces. So it does this in the script and then deletes this faces. So you see the margins. So, yeah, that's how it works. So to create like a single logo, just use it on a single face. In this case, I hope this works. Okay. Random symbols, and there we go. So we just need to see it on this angle because the HDRI is too shiny on this angle. Still good. Wait, this one. But let's make the lines thicker. Inner margin. There you go. Now we can get rid of this. We could have gotten rid of this earlier by using the merge to source, but I forgot. Okay, so we need to just basically stick it to the surface of the mesh underneath, and we can use Creative Flow for that as well. Or not, since this already, yeah, I think this already looks like it's sticking to the surface, so we can forego that. The only problem here is the symbol is too small. Yeah, it might be too small. So let's go, you know what, let's undo and go for something bigger. Ah,
Lalo ni siya Miko, no?
sige.
Sikit batch pagay ako.
Oo.
Pila.
I think it's the scale. There we go. Something big that will be macro, that will be observable on a certain distance. Let's increase the scale, but we are going past the symmetry line, so let's avoid that. Something simple. There we go. I think that's good. Or not. Looks like. Oh, look, that looks like a gesture. Let's go for this one. And we're going to scale this without going past the symmetry line. I'm just going to apply it first to get rid of the mirror and then scale it in edit mode using, whoops, see the 3D cursor? Oh no. So select this. I've got the other one selected, so on the symmetry, on this side. Okay. And then auto mirror, click on this surface here and mirror it on the X and Z and Y. Okay. And for the color of this, the color of the vertex color, you cannot access, there's no way to access that. So actually there may be a way to access that. Wait, let's try this. Um, vertex color, pick, and then set. There's no way to access that. There's no color bar. But we can go, and there's no way to create hex codes for this. 0.85, 0.85, 0.75, and zero point 0.6. So RGB. Oh, no, RGB. 0.85, 0.75, and zero point 0.6. What? 0.85, 0.75, and zero point 0.6. 0.85, 0.75, and zero point 0.6 RGB. Okay. This must be one of those gamma conversions. So we just need to eyeball it. Go to individuals. Sorry about that. My voice is breaking up. You know what? You know what? Let's just change. Use other color than what we use for the stripes on the source mesh. So red, and the opposite of the red, or in this case, this one here, is this. So let's just use that. Okay, and another symbol, another symbol. This case, this one here. I'm going to extract this and then separate. Then click on this and apply the mesh. Then deselect everything and just use these spaces here and use random symbols, maze cut tree. Okay, and reduce the scale. Increase our decrease the margin, the inner margin, and you can get rid of the source mesh using this. Merge to source. and let's just bring it down a bit. There we go, and symmetrize it. Okay, not apply mesh. Auto mirror. Click on the geometry that you want to mirror, and symmetrize it on this direction of y. And we're not going to symmetrize this on the x-axis, so y and z. The only thing here is that's okay. It's supposed to be upside down. So when you flip the cylinder, you can read it the right way on this one. Okay. Bring it down some more. There you go. And we'll do another one here. Probably all this. Let's try this. Turn off merge to source and reduce our scale. Bring in some duplicates to make it more natural and set this to something like 60%. So not all the symbols are going to be unique. Some will be duplicated, like this one here, to just make it more natural. And in this case, we're going to not use auto mirror to make the uh, detail asymmetrical. So this one here is the duplicate, this one is a duplicate, or a duplicate of the other one. So it looks, this one here duplicates this one here as well. So it looks more natural rather than the individual symbols being like unique all the time. Okay, so you can still go back to the redo panel and use the there you go. Okay, now we just need to I need to borrow a geometry on the other file. So for the ground, uh, this one here. So this is a really good thing about Blender. I don't know if it's also on the other softwares, but in Blender you can go to another file, select the geometry that you want. In this case, this just this two here. Control C to copy, and go back to your original work blend scene, and Control V to paste. And we can get some quick render view of this. So basically, if this was a short, you'd have this, or YouTube short, or in TikTok, you'd have this dimension here. Probably do not toggle on render region. So that's because of the screen, not the screencast keys, the depth of field. So I'm clicking on the surface here and make empty and focus. Like this. Now let's try and cycle through the HDRI to get probably another more dramatic lighting like this one. So you can have close-ups. Those really good looking symbols are being shown as the main focus. Okay, try to animate the light. There you go. Let's try and render this. And go to composter, and I'm just going to add emission layer here, and probably get rid of this. Where's the mouse cursor? I feel like the T-Rex now, Jurassic Park, looking for the 3D cursor. For the mouse cursor. If it doesn't move, I can't see it. Okay, emit glare, and set this to glare, and set this to glare type to blue. Okay. Let's try and render this. You can't see the render window, but you can see the percentage at the bottom. It's just gonna be quick. This is because the OBS capture cannot uh, capture the rendering window, only the main Blender window. Okay, that's it. And we have that effect from the emission using the glare. And this is what the glare looks like. You can of course go to highlights and set the threshold to make it stronger to capture more of the pixels that are being eliminated. And then you can also control the intensity right here in the add mix factor, color mix factor. I'm just gonna reset this and set this to blue. Set this to orange. And this is the highlights that is being colored using this color here. Increase the intensity. You can soften it up using this mix value, set it to something like 0.7. So that softens it up. There you go. Probably something like 0.6. And we're going to change this to something whiter or more desaturated. You can see the effect of the color right there in the highlights. Something like that. Okay. And there you go. All you need is some basic animation. Let's just get rid of this tiny dot right now. Alt X, delete unused nodes. Okay, so that is it for our basic exercise. So you can take this, what you've learned for this video, and use it on another exercise course or project, so you can learn more about the tools. So yeah. The only way to learn is to make mistakes, learn it. If you encounter bugs, of course, you need to contact me in the Discord link. You can find the Discord link in the product page and also in the usage info right here. Join the Discord community. You can read the online documentation right here. You can watch the YouTube playlist for Random Flow right here, and about that disappearing menu. So that, of course, is the F9 hotkey, and that will explain to you why it is what it is. It's not uh, programmed into the add-on. It's a Blender internal behavior, which if I could bypass and just let the redo panel float in 3D space, I will definitely do it, but I can't. Okay. So yeah. Before we go, again, referral links in the description of the video. So right now it's the another one of the super high bundle, which is the Blender Education bundle, and that will be a collection of the most popular training videos. And if you're new to Blender, that will really, if you purchase that, that will really set you up, or at the start, really make you advance more speedily, or familiarize yourself to Blender more than any other just watching random videos in YouTube, because those tutorials are more focused centric on, of course, making you learn more efficiently, not certainly faster, but more efficiently, and of course better. Okay, yeah, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, just the comment section below, or the links in the description. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.